Hey guys, welcome back to another Helix video. Today I'm going to look at another one of the new amp models to come out of the 2.1 firmware that Line 6 recently released. This is the Archetype Clean, which is based off of the PRS Archon amp. This is the clean channel. They did also model the distortion channel, but I'm only going to be looking at the clean channel for this video. Basically, as you can see on the screen, everything is pretty much, as far as the EQ and presence, everything's on 5. Master volume up just a little bit, just to add a little more punchiness, but this amp is clean. You're not going to get any breakup really out of it. And what if you push the drive and master? It's just not designed for what you're looking for if you're wanting kind of that edge of breakup sound. So this amp is a clean amp model, but it's great for that. It's nice and punchy and tight. It's a great, if you're wanting a platform for clean, this is a good one to start with. I am using a Variax guitar. For the clean stuff, I'm going to be using a Strat model. In a minute, we're going to flip on some distortion pedals, and which this amp takes remarkably well. So I'll flip over probably to like a Les Paul for that. But this amp, like I said, it's just super clean. It doesn't give at all in terms of breakup. It'll stay clean regardless of how hard you hit it. So, it's cool for, like if you're doing some funk stuff and just need a tight clean. Throw a little wah in there. So it's really good for that. And actually, and one thing, this is kind of a modern amp for sure. But I actually found flipping over to the bridge pickup on a Strat, you can actually get, because it is so clean and punchy, it actually works pretty well for like chicken picking type stuff. Yes, there's about the extent of my chicken picking ability there. But, I was kind of like, oh, this is could work really for a variety of applications. It doesn't have to be just for like a modern style of music. You can do, not saying country's not modern, but I think typically when I hear somebody say this is a modern style amp, I think, high gain, not vintage, and typically with country and blues and stuff like that, you tend to think of like more vintagey type gear. So that's why I said that. But it works great for country or funk or just any kind of clean rhythm. Works great for that. I put a chorus pedal in here. So it's really a pretty beautiful, clean sound. A lot of times with the stuff I use when I'm playing live or recording, I very much tend to favor the kind of amps that'll break up a little bit when you dig into them. So it was kind of refreshing playing through just a true clean amp. It's a nice tone. I'll show you real quick what I'm using cab-wise. Almost all my electric patches, I like to include this Dr. 12 Dr. Z 2x12 is a 2x12 interstate, they call it, with a 121 ribbon mic. I've also got an Uber V30 down here, vintage 34x12s. I do have, also using ribbon mic, I do have an 80 hertz cut on each cabinet. This amp model has a really wide frequency range. So the low end can rumble a little bit on you if you're not careful. I originally had a greenback 4x12 cabinet loaded. And was kind of fighting with that on certain low notes. I found that the vintage 30 cab was a little tighter, and using the low cut, that kind of worked. Worked out okay to kind of get rid of that, that sort of stuff. So but you know, if you're looking for a platform for clean, this is a great new addition that Line 6 has added. One other thing I found that was kind of cool is it takes pedals incredibly well. You can throw some drive pedals in front of it and really get some great crunch sounds. Particularly, I like the new Super Overdrive pedal that they've added in the latest firmware. So let's turn that on, see what that sounds like. Flipping over now to a Les Paul bridge. Get a little more of the humbucker style sound here. So I think it's a killer rhythm tone. You know, just a nice crunch. You can still hear the clarity in the chords. But it's got a nice drive to it. So the cleanness, I guess you could say, the clarity of the amp model comes through. You throw some distortion on top of it, and it's killer. This is a patch. You'll see I've got actually 4 drive pedals in this patch. This is kind of a template of mine that when I want to try out a new amp model, I throw it into this template because I like playing around with different drive pedals to see what's going to work, what responds well. What I actually found is, the more I stacked on drive pedals, the more kind of versatile I got. I've got a Timmy and a Minotaur or Centaur or whatever, and a Tube Screamer. So if I kick in the Minotaur model, you still have clarity, but you get a little more drive. And I'm able to hit those big open chords with this much drive on it and still have that clarity, which is awesome. It's got a nice attack too if you want to play some lead on it. So really cool. I mean, I was pretty amazed when I started, stacking up the drives. I'm like, man, this thing just gets better and better. Throw a Timmy on there. I'm going to flip over to the neck pickup. If you really want to get tons of sustain, I've got a Tube Screamer here in the path. I'll throw that on. And just kind of, sings for days. I don't have a noise gate on this patch. It's a little noisy when I start to turn all those on. But, cool, great addition. Thank you, Line 6, for another great amp model. Just recently did a video on the Litigator amp model. You can check that out. I was kind of under the impression it was a Dumble because the name kind of hinted towards that high-end, super high-end bluesy amp, and then the icon in the editor looked like a Dumble, so I kind of jumped the gun, and apparently it's not exactly a Dumble, but still, that's a great amp model. We've got the archetype clean now, and then I haven't even touched the archetype distortion yet. I'm going to work on that one next, but I think, I don't know if it's just that Line 6 are modeling better and better amps, or they're just getting better and better at the Helix level modeling. I think with every new update, I think the amp models are getting better. That's always comes down to a matter of opinion, I suppose. But they added the matchless a few updates back. That's still still my go-to amp model, but the Archetype and Litigator are just awesome. But anyway, I'll have the link to download this patch if you want to mess around with it. I do have 4 snapshots set up for this one. Just clean with chorus, crunch, which is the Super Overdrive and Minotaur, and then lead, which turns on the Timmy, and then I do also have I don't have it in a snapshot, but there's a delay on here. If you want a delay, you can just kick that on. Yeah, so it's a fun preset, pretty versatile. I think that all the drive pedals kind of give you the way I'm kind of envisioning if I use this live, it's kind of a channel switching type setup where you really go from like a traditional, going from a clean to a drive channel. I mean, it just sounds completely different. The cool thing is with doing it that way, you don't have to use extra DSP on having 2 amp models in one, one in one path, one another, or however. The drive pedals are much less DSP intensive. So, this amp model is a good platform if you want to do that, 2-channel, 3-channel kind of feel, but do it in one patch using snapshots and not have to switch to another preset or worry about spillover and dropouts and all that sort of stuff. Again, the Archetype clean, great amp model, really enjoying it. Thanks again to Line 6 for putting out another great update for a great product. So I hope you guys can get some use out of this, or at least give you some ideas what you can do with this amp model. Hope you enjoy it. Download it, make it your own, have some fun with it, and we'll see you next